withstand all the storms that may come, and may it become stronger by the stress of the storms and grow. Do not grieve over the fact that it is a hired building. In 1948, it was a hired building. Make the best use of it. Try to build another building as soon as possible, which you may call your own, unquote. And not one building. There are so many which have come, including the one we see today. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, I am sure both Thiru Rajaji and our founder would be smiling from above, not just smiling, blessing us from above. As we look to the future, it is imperative that we remain steadfast in our commitment to the ideals that have guided us thus far. Inclusivity, excellence, and empowerment. In keeping with the visionary spirit of our founder, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am proud to announce the establishment. This is something which we are doing it, commemorating the 75 years. We are establishing a scholarship fund of 75 million Indian rupees. This 7.5 crores will be dedicated to supporting the academic and sporting aspirations of deserving students. This fund is a reaffirmation of our commitment to ensuring that financial constraints never stand in the way of education and opportunity. Today, as we stand on the threshold of a new era in the history of Adithanar College, let us take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey that has brought us to this point. A journey marked by challenges overcome, milestones achieved, and lives transformed. Let us continue to draw inspiration from the vision and legacy of our beloved founder. Together we can empower generations of women to excel, contribute, and make a difference in our society. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you here for being part of this momentous occasion. May the spirit of Adithanar College continue to shine brightly for generations and generations and generations to come. To strive, to find, to seek, and not to yield. May God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful speech. Each day at Adithanar is an achievement of a different kind. Emphasizing this, there is a visual treat, a glimpse into our glorious past 75 years, and a special message sent by a special guest.
Hello, this is John Etheridge here. I am the grandson of the founder of the Etheridge College, which celebrates 75 years this year, as I do. I was also born in 1948. And so I pay tribute to the college and its wonderful work, and also particularly to the chairman, who is my nephew, Mr. Mike Muralidharan, and the principal, Dr. Uma Gowrie. And so congratulations to the college and everybody there. And this is the grandson of the founder wishing you very well. Goodbye.
That was indeed a compelling and stunning presentation. Thank you, team. It is indeed a privileged moment to felicitate our chief guest. May I request Dr. M. Shekhar, Financial Trustee, Etheridge College Trust, to offer a shawl to Honorable Former Governor, West Bengal, Dr. Gopal Krishnan Gandhi. I humbly request Thiru R. Chandrasekhar, Trust Board Member, Etheridge College Trust, to welcome our chief guest with a fruit basket. May I request Professor S. Vittal, Trust Board Member, Etheridge College Trust, to offer a shawl to Honorable Cabinet Minister, Tamil Nadu, Dr. Palnivel Tyagarajan. I now request Professor Dr. Rita John, University Representative, University of Madras, to welcome our chief guest with a fruit basket. May I now request Dr. A.S. Saranya, Vice Principal Aided, to offer a fruit basket to Dr. A.N. Swaminathan, IAS retired, former Chairman, Etheridge College Trust, as a token of her love. May I request Dr. N. Jayanti, Vice Principal Self-Supporting, to offer a fruit basket to Tirumati Chandra Devi Tanigachalam, former Chairperson, Etheridge College Trust, as a token of her appreciation. We are thankful to everyone for joining us in this prestigious event, the inauguration of a new administrative block. I now invite Dr. M. Shekhar to give a brief description about the administrative block.
Vanakkam. I am greatly humbled to sit along with the great dignitaries on the stage, especially the two guests of honor, Thiru Gopal Krishnan Gandhi and also Honorable Minister P.T.R. Palnivel Tyagarajan. Before going into that, I am a professor, so always digress and then go. So one thing strikes on the stage. Normally we have son, but after that only comes grandson. So normally we say grandson because son to the son, but grand is attached. And here I am really wondering that grand is attached because of these people have become so grand. You know that Gopala Krishnan Gandhi is grandson of Gandhi, P.T.R. Palnivel Tyagarajan is grandson of P.T. Rajan, and of course in the family of Etheridge, one of the grandsons sitting here is our Muralidharan. So it is all grand stage here, godowed by the grandsons. One more thing I noticed, which also I should mention, all the grandfathers were advocates. P.T. Rajan, Gandhi, and also Etheridge. So they have advocated that, and then that's why we are here. So that's what I want to point out before going into the details of the building. The genesis of these two buildings, strictly speaking, we started two buildings, and one is ECRIC, Etheridge Center for innovation, research, innovation and creativity. And the other one is the admin block. And they actually started in 2018, by none other than, that has been coined and then, conceived by, as told already by our chairman, A. Swaminathan, and also our chairman, now present chairman, and then also chairman, Muralidharan, and also the financial trustee at that time, T.M. Nagarajan. We'll have to remember them. So it was started in 2018. But in between, you all know COVID stuck. So the two projects started together. We could complete only one in time. That was within that time. So that was the ECRIC building. We completed that Ethiraj Center for Research, Innovation and Creativity first. And it contained not only that Center for Research and Innovation, it also had an indoor stadium at the ground floor, sports hostel for the girl students, so that they can stay here and go early morning for their training and everything. So nearly 50 girls are staying here, and all the facilities are provided by the college, breakfast, lunch and everything, and they are taken care of that. So that is also in the technique. And we also have got a Badri Shyam Kothari auditorium there, donated by Rina Kothari from their Kothari Foundation. It's a 200-seater auditorium. So that was inaugurated first. Of course, we could take up this project of the admin building later. This is a G+4 administrative cum academic complex, which is now, as you can see, as you all can vouch, is an eye-catcher in this campus. Not only in this campus, but also the people who cross across this Ethiraj Salai will be drawn obviously towards our building and then see the grandeur of the building. And it all came out very nicely with all the plaques, name boards, everything else will come out very well. And to add to that, we have also added the new gate for that metallic gate. That is also looks very grand. This totally our campus, both campus, nearly 150 grounds area, in which we have got, as chairman pointed out, that a lot of buildings have come up. That is one way, like it is pointing out to the other direction that there is no open space, especially for playing and other things and all that. But anyway, buildings were there, our courses got increased, number of students got increased. So ultimately we are able to cater to all that. This comprises of 4,800 square meter of built up space. 2/5 of that is administrative, even though we call it as administrative block. 2/5 only is the administrative block. 3/5 is devoted to the academic purposes for classrooms, seminar halls, etc. This building has been designed for earthquake, and also we have provided for an additional capacity of 2 floors in the pile foundation that we have provided. We have provided a barrier-free environment with ramps and elevators. One of the elevators is a stretcher lift, so that in emergency we can use it along with the lift also. All the restrooms are provided and they are earmarked for the physically challenged people also. This is an environmental friendly building. The reason I am saying is, all those people who know, as our former principal Nirmala said, what would happen to the space when you built a new building? The trees were there, so many things. We took care that the trees were not disturbed. So thanks to the architect, we planned that such a way, only a minimum number, 5 or 6 trees have to be replanted in another place. Otherwise, we positioned the building that, not only that, we have taken care that the solar energy is fully utilized. So 28 kilowatt solar power is now on-grid power connection is available there, so that we can minimize the energy conservation from the fossil fuel also. This building comprises of the ground floor, wherein we have got the principal's room, so that people can easily access and then meet her and then discuss with her. It has got a nice visitors lounge for her also, and her office assistant also placed there. We have got also a multi-purpose hall. In addition to that, we have got a guest lounge, where the guests of honor were taken and then shown, so that it will be a heritage hall, I can also say, because all our photographs, if you've seen in the video, are actually displayed there. So any guest coming here can know about the history of this college and the greatness with which we, grew. The first floor consists of the trust board office, the boardroom, there are conference halls, and in the other 3 floors are for the students, with classrooms, seminar halls, all those things are given here. And you know that, and the terrace is decked with, as you know, the solar panels, and also RO plant is there, so that we get a potable water all through the day. So that's how the classrooms are smart, so that every classroom has got a network connection, and all smart facility, projection facilities are available, so that it is all fully equipped. So we are really very proud that we could come up with this administrative cum academic complex for the use, so that we will be able to start some new programs also, as demanded by the society and the curriculum demands. We can also place that. So at this point, I'll be failing in my duty if I don't acknowledge the contributions by people like our former chairperson Chandra Devi Madam, and financial trustee through Sridharan at that time, building contractors Mrs. Manikam and company, architects Junior, I'll call him Junior Yadav, because the Senior Yadav was with us with the Anna University. I have moved with him in the Anna University in the many buildings built by one Professor V.C. Kolandasamy at that time. So I know about the Senior Yadav. Now Junior Yadav is there in this thing, along with his wife, Reshma. And the interior contractors, landscape contractors, solar power agencies, and all my fellow board members. Because you know that during the process of construction, so many proposals are there involving money and time and then approvals. And all my board members, fellow colleague members, readily approved all that. As a building, a civil and structural engineer, I have got double delight in being here to complete the project and then present to you in support with all of them. So I thank you very much, our chairman, Muralidharan, for giving me this great opportunity to continue my academic activity and also my professional activity also here in constructing this building. So I join with all of you in congratulating Muralidharan for this great project, because he started it. Now when it is inaugurated, the building is inaugurated also, he is very much there. That is the destiny. The God knows who must be there and who must be given the opportunity to do that. So I always believe that, and Muralidharan has got that place. So I join with all of you in congratulating everybody, and especially the students who are going to be benefited. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for that brief description of the administrative block. We stand here today at the brink of an extraordinary moment as we inaugurate the new administrative block, an inception of a dream, a step towards progress, and a landmark moment we have all been waiting for. I request our Chief Guest, Honorable former Governor of West Bengal, Dr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi, and Honorable Cabinet Minister, Tamil Nadu, Dr. Palnivel Thiagarajan, to unveil the plaque. Thank you, sirs. As we march towards a new beginning, as a token of gratitude, we would like to present a memento to Messrs. Manikam & Co. and Yadav Architects. I request our Chief Guest to do the honors. Thank you, sirs. Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan is the Honorable Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Rajan previously served as the Minister for Finance and Human Resource Management. Prior to his entry to politics, Dr. Rajan has worked as an international investment banker for many years in several trading, market sales, and held management roles at Lehman Brothers, largely in New York, and Standard Chartered Bank, mostly based in Singapore, where he last served as Senior Managing Director, Financial Markets, overseeing the sales of several fixed income products globally. Prior to banking, his career spanned academia, agriculture, consultation, manufacturing, and research. Dr. Rajan earned a B.Tech Honours in Chemical Engineering from NIT, Trichy, MS Operations Research, and PhD Human Factors Engineering Psychology from the State University of New York, and an MBA Finance from the MIT Sloan School of Management. Indeed, it is an honor having you here, sir. May I now request Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan to deliver his address.
The Chairman of the Adithanar College Trust, my good friend Thiru M. Muralidharan, the Financial Trustee Dr. M. Shekhar, former Chairman Dr. A. M. Swaminathan, former Chairperson, my good friend who has done yeoman service for the government of Tamil Nadu at my request, Tirumadi Chandra Devi Manikachalam, the Principal Dr. Amma Gauri. Most of all, though he's much more senior and distinguished than me, I'm happy to say my very good friend Dr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi, the former Governor of West Bengal. The many people I see that I know in the audience, my relatives, my friends, former IAS officers of the government of Tamil Nadu, alumni that I know, faculty, students, the press. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for inviting me and listening to me on this very momentous occasion of the 75th, or the valedictory function of the 75th anniversary and the opening of this wonderful new block. The Model Code of Conduct has just gone into effect a few days ago, so I have to be very careful about what I say in case it's construed in the wrong way. But I'll just briefly say two things, societally and individually. Societally, it is very clear by now that what distinguishes a developed, relatively compassionate, relatively progressive society is the extent to which there is inclusion and equality for all, starting with women and then minorities of all types, religious communities, so forth. And if we have one great pride in our state, in our recent history of the last 100+ years, it is that we stand head and shoulders above almost any other state of our scale, and even as the south of India, in how integrated girls and women are into the mainstream of education, of economics, of entrepreneurship, and how valuable that is to us in both economic outcomes and human development. At an individual level, some people get to be very successful in their lifetime. Some even get to leave behind their names in stone carvings like that, if we happen to be in office. Some get to build institutions. Some get to build institutions that generate the human capital that goes out and changes the world. In that sense, I would say there can be no greater tribute to the founder, V.L. Etharaj Mudaliar, than what has become the #1 college for women in Chennai. Not just in scale, but also in quality and impact. I was also taken with this building today when I heard about 50,000 square feet, and when the chairman was telling me, that we had this empty space and now we built, and I said, this is the curse of our time, right? We need buildings so much for the population that grows that we destroy nature. And then I was so pleasantly surprised that it designed in such a way that it leaves such a small footprint, and it's open to the air and sunlight on all sides, and it's designed in a way that it almost fits into the environment rather than standing out like a sore block. So I congratulate the architects, the board, the design, the construction. I think it's been a wonderful outcome. I will only say one last thing. As good as broad education and inclusion and access to all is, and as vital as it is, we do need institutions that we consider elite. Not elite in the sense of who gets to go, but elite in the sense of the level of intellectual activity or creativity or professionalism or research of technology. And what is even more important than having elite institutions, and we are fortunate in Tamil Nadu to have many, the IIT, the NIT, Anna University, so many colleges, is that elite should not be defined based on exclusive. And I had a very wonderful revelation from a friend of mine who is now the director of the National Science Foundation, who is also a Chennai boy, but the director of the National Science Foundation in the US. Many of you may have heard of it. It is the premier science and research promotion agency of the government of the United States, with a budget of something like $1 billion a year. Has been at the forefront of many pioneering technologies. And in fact, during my time in the US, the 10 years or so I was in US academia, if a professor got one of those young researcher awards from the NSF, that means their career was made. That's how elite an institution it is. But the director, I happened to meet a couple times and we became friends. And one of the things that struck me about his approach and why we've become such good friends is that he said, after he took on his job, he said that elite cannot be defined by the ratio of exclusion. So you cannot say I'm elite because every 100 people apply, only one gets here. That is the definition, cannot be the definition of elite. The demand and supply is not the basis, it's the quality of the work, it's the level of intellectual access. And it should also be that exclusivity is broken down by as many tools possible. Most US universities have started to do that. In some of the best universities in the US, including my old university, MIT, they do what's called needs-blind admission. So they give you admission based on your background, your academic credentials, without checking whether you have the ability to pay. And after you get in, they decide whether you have the ability to pay by yourself, fully, partially, and the big endowments these universities sit on will pay the rest of their fees. So in that sense, I want to congratulate the board for this $7.5 crore fund, which is going to provide scholarships. It is just another way of ensuring that elite institutions don't have to be exclusive, and people without the economic means can actually get access to high quality or elite quality education. So congratulations on that again. Very close to my heart and the notions of social justice and equity. Before I get into any trouble with any code violations, I will conclude my speech. Thank you again for allowing me to share the stage with so many luminaries. I think this is the third or fourth or fifth time I've been here in the last 10 years. I was just thinking that the first time I came here was in 2013 for some seminar. And then I was reminded, just so you all don't think that old people like us were always old people, I was reminded that the first time I came here was actually in 1983 on a motorcycle to see a friend who lived in the hostel across the street, the Rani Mayamai hostel. And in those days they wouldn't let my motorcycle into either this gate or that gate. So the world changed quite a bit. Anyway, thank you very much for having me at this wonderful event. I wish all of you the best.
Thank you, sir, for those words of appreciation. Dr. Gopal Krishna Kanti, the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, is an ex-IAS officer who served as Secretary to the President of India and as High Commissioner to South Africa and Sri Lanka, among other administrative and diplomatic posts. As a member of the Indian Administrative Service in his Tamil Nadu cadre, Gandhi was trained in the Kaveri Delta's Tanjore district and posted at South Arcot, North Arcot, and Pudukkottai. He worked among the tea plantation laborers of Indian origin in Sri Lanka as first secretary in the High Commission of Indian Candy Office from 1978 to 1982. He was later secretary to the Governor of Tamil Nadu, secretary to the Vice President of India, and secretary to the President of India. He was the first director of the Nehru Centre at the High Commission of India, London, High Commissioner for India and South Africa and Lesotho, High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, and Ambassador to Norway and Iceland. From 2004 to 2009, he served as the 23rd Governor of West Bengal. Dr. Gandhi read English literature and history at St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. The University of Natal, South Africa, confirmed a doctorate of laws honoris causa on him in 1999, and the University of Paradeniya, Sri Lanka, a doctorate of letters honoris causa in 2001. The University of Calcutta conferred on him a doctorate of literature honoris causa in 2019. It is a privilege having you here, sir. May I request Dr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi to address the gathering.
Esteemed Minister Dr. Panivel Tyagarajan, Chairman of the Adithanar College Trust, Muralidharan, Principal and Secretary Dr. Uma Gauri, past Presidents of the College and Trust, past Principals, Dr. Rita John, my esteemed senior in the IAS Tamil Nadu cadre, Mr. A.M. Swaminathan, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great privilege to be part of this event marking the touching and crossing of the 75th annual milestone in the life of this college. I am deeply grateful to all those who have invited me for having given me this opportunity. The founder, Mr. Adithanar, was very fortunate in his talents and in his ability to share his talents and to share the savings which he made from his earnings in the practice of law. He was very fortunate in the friends that he had who gave him good advice on how to use his savings intelligently and philanthropically. He was also very fortunate in the friends which he did not have, who might have given him very self-centered advice to do things which would not have been good either for him or for his society. But above all, he was very fortunate in the spontaneous support which he got from the society of this city and state, and from the government of this state at that time, headed by the great Omandur Ramasamy Reddy. He was a visionary, as we know. And he wanted to set up this college for women so that the women of the city and of the state, representing the great chunk of the population of women in our country, are able to make up for the loss of time and opportunity which they have suffered for generations for no other reason than this, that they were women, and therefore consigned to the kitchen in the home and to a life of unrelieved domesticity. I do not want to underestimate the importance of the kitchen or of domestic life. They are extremely important. But they should not be the only thing in the life of the woman. And that is what Adithanar knew. And that is what he put into effect by starting this college. I just want to say a couple of things before my time is up. The study of different subjects in a college like this gives an opportunity to the girl, to the woman, to learn. But it also gives an opportunity to the girl and the woman to return to those subjects what she has learned by adding value to those subjects in her understanding and in her interiorizing and in her application of that work. So a chemist, an economist, a student of English literature does not end the association with those subjects by getting the degree that she gets at the end of this term. She can return to it many times, what she has got. And for that, a couple of things are necessary. One, and this brings me to a somewhat sensitive subject. The end of a university education for a man is the beginning of a life in work. We have a huge unemployment problem in India, and so work is not guaranteed. But the mind of the man is ready for work. But social custom and history have created this difference. At the end of the study for a girl is the start of a life in marriage. Marriage is a great institution, but it should be regarded as a great option, not an automatic compulsion. It is an option which should be celebrated, for it is the start of a great discovery of family life. But this is where one important word in the life of this college is what I would like to draw attention to. It is not the emblem. It is not the motto. It is not the great motto from Tennyson. But it is this one word which keeps coming up again and again whenever the college is mentioned. Adithanar College for Women, autonomous. 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 What is autonomy? Autonomy means a connection, an association, an affiliation, but with autonomy. So if marriage brings with it and protects autonomy of choice, it is a fulfilling marriage. If it means the extinguishment of autonomy, it is not a fulfilling marriage. Autonomy means the right to be able to exercise one's autonomous intelligence. And here I would like to say two things. I believe every college, but certainly every women's college, must make it possible for the girl or the woman student to read the discussions in the then Imperial Legislative Council on what is called the Sarda Act, or the Age of Consent Act. There were many honorable gentlemen who opposed the raising of the age of consent. They are honorable gentlemen in Shakespeare's language. I will not say more. You must read that, but you must also read word by word, line by line, the Prohibition of Dowry Act 1961. The Dowry Act passed through several stages in the Parliament of the Republic of India, with many honorable members having certain reservations about it. If anyone in the world outside and beyond university comes up with a hint of a request for dowry, every girl or woman should say, "I'm sorry, but there is something called the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961. Even a suggestion for dowry under that act is punishable by imprisonment with or without fine. Even a suggestion, quite apart from actual extortion of dowry." I want autonomy to mean the right of the daughter in the family to tell the prospective in-laws whether her own parents are quite with her in this or not. Sorry, no marriage if the dowry suggestion is not withdrawn. Secondly, an even more delicate subject. Gold, Tangam, is both a metal and an element. It is number 79, atomic number 79 among the elements of the world. But gold today can be given in banks for a loan. Imagine a situation where loans can be given in exchange of gold. At the same time as gold is advertised relentlessly and aggressively in the jewelry market. What is the economics of a society where gold of sentiment can be pledged for money to buy transactional gold for a marriage? Artisanship in the making of jewelry is one of our great pride. Let our artisans in the world of jewelry making thrive. Let even the jewelry trade thrive. But let the pressure on middle class and lower middle class homes created by aggressive jewelry advertisements not thrive. The pressure on a poor family to buy jewelry at the time of the marriage, created by this vigorous pressure of the gold jewelry market, is a pressure that is crushing. I would like all the girls and women studying in this college and in the great colleges like the Queen Mary's College, the Women's Christian College, the Stella Maris College, and this and many other colleges in our state, to say gold is beautiful, except when it becomes a pressure. I will now wind up by saying a final word, this being a liberal college set up by a liberal statesman-like educator who was also a lawyer. I say this in tribute to the great founder who was also a barrister, and which is this: this college must play a role in retrieving the institution of marriage from the great agony of domestic violence. The last legal enactment which must be made natural reading in a college like this is the Act Against Domestic Violence. Domestic violence perpetrated on the woman in front of the child in the house is an agony which can only be, I think, imagined when someone sings or hears being sung Shyama Shastri's great song, Mayamma, Kalika Bhavani, Mayamma, Kalika Bhavani. May the blessings of Kalika Bhavani be on every single student who has passed on from this college and become an alumna, every student who is studying here, and every student who may study here in the future.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words of wisdom and for your insight on domestic violence. It gives us great pleasure to honor a few of our distinguished alumni who have shown indomitable spirit of human ingenuity in all their accomplishments. I request our chief guest, Dr. Palnivel Tyagarajan and Dr. Gopalakrishnan Gandhi, to do the honors. Ms. Amrita Haluwalia, international tennis player, Wimbledon. Ms. Geeta Ramamurthy, MD, who broke the glass ceiling, Kellogg Brown and Root, KBR, India. Ms. V. Jayalakshmi, international athlete who represented India in the Olympics. Dr. Kalyani Madhivanan, former Vice Chancellor, Madurai Kamarajar University. Ms. Meenakshi Chitranjan, classical Bharatanatyam dancer and a Padma Shri awardee. Ms. Meenakshi Vijaykumar, Fire Department. She was the first woman fire officer of India, Asia, and also the first officer to win medals for India in the World Firefighters and Police Games. Ms. N. Priya Ravichandran. Ms. N. Priya Ravichandran, Joint Director, Tamil Nadu Fire and Rescue Services, Northern Region, Chennai. Ms. D. Sabita, Indian Administrative Service, retired. Dr. Thamirachi Thangapandian, Member of Parliament. Dr. Thaimuri M., Professor and Head, Department of Management Studies, IIT Madras. She was ranked in the top 100 women in finance in India 2019-20 by AIWMA. Ms. Veena Kumaravil, Founder, Naturals Beauty Salon, India Private Limited, India's most successful lady entrepreneur. There are more than 700 salons in India and now has ventured into Dubai. Thank you, sir. I quote Henry Ward Beecher, "Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul." Unquote. We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guests for their invaluable presence. I request our chairman, Thiru V.M. Muralidharan, and Dr. S. Kumar Gauri, Principal and Secretary, to present the memento to our chief guest, Dr. Gopalakrishnan Gandhi. A photograph of the ushering in of a college in 1948 by the then Governor General of Independent India, Sir C. Rajagopalacharya will be presented to our chief guest. I may now request our chairman, Thru V. M. Muralidharan, and Dr. S. Uma Kauri, Principal and Secretary, to present the memento to our chief guest, Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan. We would also like to present a memorial to our guest, a photograph showing his beloved father, P.T. Rajan, the then Chief Minister of Madras Presidency, laying the foundation stone of a college. Thank you, sir and ma'am. To bring this spectacular ceremony to its conclusion, it is mandatory to thank those who have made this day possible. I call upon our admirable Principal and Secretary, Dr. S. Uma Kauri, to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of Adithanar College family, it gives me both an honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this historic occasion which culminates the 75th years of glory of this esteemed institution and inauguration of the administrative block. We are immensely grateful to the God Almighty and our revered founder, Thiru V. L. Ethiraj, for the divine blessings showered on all of us. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan, Honorable Cabinet Minister, Tamil Nadu, and our Chief Guest, Dr. Gopalakrishna Gandhi, Honorable former Governor of West Bengal. Sir, we are